Let's talk about
Let's
sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the things. Let's talk about sex.
So you made the
yeah.
perfect you made the perfect transition
Beautiful.
between our introduction music, and novel.
Yes. Great,
Perfect.
great. So beautiful, guys. So, yeah. Judging the introduction music, you guys want to share what topic we're gonna talk about today?
I think it was really mentioned, no, in your introduction about sex and about also the relationship between men and women. I think it's beautiful.
Definitely, yeah. And I also want to state to not scare anybody away when you hear the word sex. Sex can also just mean what is your sex? Are you a male or are you a female? You know, and sex comes in many forms and ways. You can have sex with clothes on, with clothes off. And I want you to especially open up your heart and your mind to the discussion because you just might use what you learned today to open up certain things in your life that you haven't been able to open up, if you understand what I'm saying.
You can open your legs now.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
Hey, I didn't see that, but sure.
No, but yeah, it's for the viewers, the listeners to keep an open mind. And we are just here sharing our experiences, our thoughts, and not trying to offend anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's
Please
okay.
bear with us.
Okay, guys, let's start from the beginning, from the world beginning of sex, no? What is the main
Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve, no? What is the main purpose of sexual intercourse, no? Like as we can say it's reproduction, it's also of course it's animal desire, but in if you see in life, if you check like dogs or cats, like sex is used only for reproduction. Like we can start with the basics. But I think humans, and maybe it's, as you say, Nevin, you mentioned Adam and Eve, no? Yeah, Adam and Eve. It's
Yeah.
like they use sex, like they make a sin, or they went into the hell, no, into hell because they use sex for pleasure and not for reproduction, and that's why they went to they were in Eden and then they went to hell because they had the snake. The snake told them to eat the apple, and apple is like the fruit, it's like the sex, and the snake is the sexual energy. Well, it's very deep, but the snake is a sexual energy because in every like in the Kundalini, the Kundalini is like symbolized by a snake, and the Kundalini energy is mostly like the sexual energy. And also, if you check like the pharmacy or like the doctors, you will see also always the snake, and it's always related to this kind of energy. But now I'm going like deeper. I don't want to go too fast, but just to explain that sex has been used for years to, or also for other animals to reproduction, but we have been told that sex is bad, or we have sinned because we are using sex as a pleasure. No, I think that's what we can talk about.
Tom, so as you were sharing, I really quick, what I just thought about now is how much people had sex in order for Flores, Pinter, Nevin Enriquez, and Tom Lashkar to exist.
Yeah.
So just imagine, let's just imagine Tom was speaking, right? In Tom's case, how many people before in the ages had to have sexual intercourse in order to create Tom? So just if you imagine you have your mom and your dad, and they both have two moms and dads, so it's an exponential growth. But if you really go, let's say 100 years back, Tom, thousands of people have had juicy sex so that you can be here today. So it's a beautiful celebration. It's the most beautiful celebration there is. But are we really celebrating sex? Or are we condemning it? Are we judging ourselves for it? Because we have sexual energy. And as a powerful, strong man, how do you use your sexual energy and don't get judged by society? Because if you listen to the news, if you listen to things that are coming up here, there is a type of war against sex. So we want to reverse that, and we want to go back to the hippie times where everybody is doing orgies. No, I'm just joking. We're not going to go that far, but we do want to peel back the curtains on what it is to be a sexual, strong, powerful, loving, healthy man. So Flo, would you like to share her, since you have a bit more knowledge in this area? You are a specialist in the NoFap movement, and you can also dive deeper into some of the topics that you love to talk about, Mr. Flo. How about that?
Yeah, of course. So since you mentioned NoFap and also semen retention, in this case, I do believe, and I think we all agree on this, that everything is energy, and sex or sexual energy is a thing, and we all have desires, right? So that's also one thing, and I don't think saying no to our desires is a good thing. But yeah, when it comes to sexual energy, I feel like a lot of people are suppressing a lot of energies, and that was also my case, by the way. So this doesn't, so I don't talk about, I talk about this a lot, but not too many people know. But I used to struggle with porn addiction. I used to, I don't even know, I used to watch porn for like 15 years or even more. And well, let's just say it put me in a really weird spot. And so the thing is, I never questioned it, right? Because this was how I was growing up. Pretty much, I was conditioned into believing, and I was also the first generation that had access to the internet, to porn, and I never even questioned it, honestly. And yeah, I got to the point when I was 30, I think, that I was questioning it, and I started reading about NoFap, the NoFap movement, and also the semen retention movement, and I got really deep into these topics, and I also tried NoFap. So for those who don't know, NoFap is
Yeah.
when someone
And also the
is,
semen retention is a very technical role. So
Yes,
maybe
technical.
give it, yeah, super easy to understand. Yeah.
yeah, so NoFap is pretty much when a man is practicing, is not masturbating. And well, I did that. I was experimenting with that for a really long time because I used to masturbate pretty much always every day. And yeah, that's wasn't healthy, but I wasn't really aware of it. So it took me a few years to realize. And also semen retention. So semen retention is when a man is not ejaculating, which means it doesn't have to do anything with masturbating, or even sex. It's just that when a man, so the man doesn't have orgasms. That's the whole idea. Which for men, especially men, it costs a lot of energy. So whenever we ejaculate, we release a lot of energy, a lot of sexual energy, and let's just say that the sperm is the man's energy, the man's power, pretty much to create life, so the life source, and it costs us a lot of energy to release, right? And therefore we are losing a lot of energy. And I wasn't really aware of this for pretty much my whole life. And when I started practicing NoFap, I realized, okay, now I have more energy, but I also kind of like suppressed my sexual needs, and I wasn't in a relationship back then, so I wasn't really having sex, and the only thing that was left was masturbating, right? And I was also saying no to my desires, although I had desires, and it was really toxic because I realized that I'm not really going after my sexual needs. And then I came along semen retention, and then I was like, okay, let's try this one. So semen retention is more about just retaining, so not releasing, which means you can still masturbate if you want, and I think you should. There's also a saying, you lose it if you don't use it, which is, I'm not sure if it's true, but I was doing NoFap for 3 months, and I realized that yeah, my libido kind of started disappearing, so that wasn't good. And yeah, then I started doing semen retention, and then I realized, oh my god, this is actually amazing because I can I don't have to suppress my sexual needs. I can still masturbate, and there's also this term healthy masturbation, right? So for those who don't know, it's pretty much masturbating, but also without porn and without, or yeah, I mean,
Or
fantasizing.
with
It's,
some
I don't
help.
think, yeah, yeah, and fantasizing, if you wish or no, it's really up to you. But anyways, and I
Yeah, but
realized,
without
okay, so
external.
yeah,
Yeah.
so pretty much
Yeah.
I realized that because a lot of people judge people who masturbate, right? And I think it's necessary this is just my opinion, of course, to get to know your own body, and also to fulfill your sexual needs. But when it comes to ejaculating, I think for a man, especially for a man, it's crucial to be in control of your energy. So it's I used to get triggered a lot, so that's why I was also watching a lot of porn. And whenever I got triggered, I wanted to release. And I quickly realized that this was a trigger, and it came from somewhere, and it was really unhealthy because I was losing a lot of energy, and this energy cost me a lot of things in life. So I wasn't motivated. I didn't really have the energy to go after things I wanted to go after. And also when it came to my life, my business life, my social life, I remember when I was masturbating a lot, I wasn't able to look into people's eyes, so my confidence was just pretty much gone. So yeah, and then when I started practicing semen retention, I definitely started feeling the difference after just a few days, energetically, and also my confidence was, well, growing. So yeah, that was an amazing experience, and that's why I could talk about this, by the way, for days and years probably. But
I
I think
realized, yeah. So
I think
I just wanted
sexual
to.
energy is huge. It's huge.
I had a question for you, Flo. So I want to help the viewers to understand as well what you're saying, what you're sharing with us. So can you imagine a male, no, a guy, a man's two balls, like his battery packs. So your balls is just two big powerful batteries with life force energy, right? So as your semen is produced, you charge, or these two big balls, it's very graphic, but it's very important for us to understand, is not only producing testosterone for your body, which is essential for the man's health, but also it's capturing the vital life force, the chi, the energy, something that you can channel into yourself and your business. And indeed, what it is that I think our world is conditioned to chase as fast pleasure, to watch porn. And I even saw some statistics that's fairly scary, that more and more men are less entitled to go and hunt or get with a girl. They're now more prone to just swipe on Tinder or watch porn and jerk off. And now men are less interested in women. It might seem like, oh, no big deal, but women, it is a very big deal, because what happens is much more women are going to go now in their masculine energy, trying to get the guys, because the guys are not interested. They're only playing video games. And this whole cycle or balance between the men and women on earth is kind of getting off. It's off balance now. So it is essential for us to understand that our sperm or the pleasure, it's not just to like papa, like shoot, like you're playing paintball and you shoot your juice everywhere. But sex is a very powerful tool to connect with somebody. You can really have beautiful deep sex and come during that. But it's essential to understand that literally as a battery pack, your two balls hold essential life energy, and each time you shoot a load somewhere on the tissue paper, you are draining yourself from this energy. You're going to feel less motivated, less energy, less testosterone. You're going to become more female. It's very, very deep, and it's important for a man to be strong and scary, to be able to beat some people up. It's essential to have this energy as well. So,
No, it's
but
very
beautifully
powerful.
said. Very good
I
at
love
your vulnerable flow. Yeah,
yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
No, just I wanted to say that I've also learned saw something in I don't know where, I think in a video or like a blog or something, that at the moment when we are going to ejaculate in the sperm, like the body will use all the best like energy or all the cells or like the nutrients. Let's say you eat, like you have nutrients, vitamin D, vitamin A, all of this. They will put it, vitamin. They will put it everything in the best, take all this energy to put it in the sperm, because then they know, because your body knows that you're about maybe to reproduce, so it's trying to get its best chance, like to make it happen. So it will use all the best resources that your body has, and your blood flow and etc. Will go, everything will go to this area in your body. And so then if you let it go, actually you're losing a lot of nutrients and a lot of like the best things, because it's like all your biology is made. But also I've learned also that when you do semen retention, what happens is that when you're about to ejaculate, but you stop it, what happens? I don't know if it's true, Flo, maybe we can talk about it, but then the energy goes back. So it's kind of like you're using, so all the nutrients, etc., comes into the moment to a deep, like in your balls, etc. But then when you stop it, then what happens is that then it goes back into your organism. It goes back, but in a stronger way, and then it's like revitalize all your organs and stuff. And I don't know if this is true, but it is very interesting also to see this kind of practice, like to see all of this.
Yeah, so there's this term also, another term. It's the power of sexual transmutation, right?
Yeah,
so it's pretty much sexual
yeah.
energy, what we use. And like you said, whenever we are ejaculating, the sperm, it's not just a life source, it's also a lot of nutrients, aminos, protein. So whenever we are not ejaculating, the body reabsorbs these, right? So it's kind of like a fuel. It's kind of like a like a supplement, if I should say so myself. And it's boosting you and your brain, for example, as a man, all the hormones and everything inside. So that's really, really important to mention this. And I mean, I was practicing a lot with NoFap and semen retention, and I can say that for me, in my case, I could see difference in like maybe 1 or 2 days, but worst case, after 1 week, if you are used to ejaculating like pretty much every day, you will see huge, huge, huge changes if you start. So this is another thing. And yeah, what you said about energy, Nevin. Yeah, everything is energy, and we have the power to create life. So we shouldn't waste it, right? If you think about it like this, it's power, it's magic, it's everything.
Man, it is literally, I was thinking about it. It is magic, and sex between a man and a woman is what creates life on earth, no? Human life. It's the bonding between two people. You connect on a physical DNA level, spiritual level, mental level. You create a third. You create a human. It's insane, and
it's crazy. Yeah.
That's why I want to share that there are these levels, because if I just look at the DNA level, I love making this very, very impactful statement, and it's that I, as a man, I am a sex machine. I am 1,000-year-old, highly sophisticated, designed and trained sex machine. I am made. My body is created to survive in order to keep my seed healthy and good, so that I may make as much sex as possible, so that like the governance of nature can continue. I am nature's most sophisticated creation, and I am literally here to spread my seed around the world, kind of like Genghis Khan did back then. He spread his seed like that. Even a percentage of the world has this guy's DNA. But again, people, this is like, even though this is how I'm designed, knowing this, being aware of this, can help me to surpass my nature's design and go to a different level, a level of creation, using this sexual energy, this power I have that has been given to me by nature as a man, and use it for creating. But it's also important to accept the first part, because if you suppress your masculine energy, the sex, the part that you do have a dick, that it does stand and point towards the beautiful girl, if you suppress this and don't learn to balance this, it will be your demise. You will live a miserable life. Because I know a lot of people that are high performing, but they are not getting with girls, they're not communicating, they're not having these experiences. And really, as a man, the most beautiful thing that I've experienced on earth was sex with beautiful women. I got, as you say, boys, money, food, but that's the most beautiful thing. Tom, share your.
Oh, I think it's, as you say,
this experience.
No, it's not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is more like the most important is to learn how to not control it, but to use it, as you said. Because as you said, you can like repress it, but also you can be an animal and rape people. Like if you don't know how to control it. Also, I mean, you know what I mean. So you have to be.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility, and it's a big also. You need to learn how to use it, but also not to repress it, and also not to be an animal, no? So I think
Where can I learn Where can I learn how to use it, Tom? I'm a guy. I want to learn how to use it better. Where? What should I do? Who should I listen to, Tom?
No, I
If
see
I
what's
might, if I
flowing.
might
Yeah.
just say something before, learning to control it is super important. But I think, because I mentioned before how I got triggered, so every single time I got triggered, I was I started watching porn, I started masturbating, and all these things. So I think the most important thing first is to understand what triggers you, right? Because there's a reason why you are well, using this thing like it's like misusing it, right?
Mm.
And after once you understood what it triggers, it like why you are reaching for porn, why you are wasting your sexual energy, why you want to have sex with so many girls, you want approval, what do you want, right? So first, I think that's the main thing what we have to focus on, to understand where this comes from, this urge.
Yeah, the triggers. And it's very interesting, I'd say, because everything in the world is designed, is sexually designed. So even if you look at Instagram, like the app is not sexually made, but if you look at the content inside, like it's always about models, always about it's always about no sexual desire. And even for a woman, like it's also men with big abs, and like always sexual energy is always used in content. But also the same in the, if you check like the publicity, let's say for the beers, it's always like the blonde girl with like, with a car having the beer. Like, I mean, this is like a very classic commercial, but you know what I mean? Like even in the commercials, in the marketing, even in music, like even now in music, like if you hear Bad Bunny or like this kind of music is always talking about sex, or the concept of, or the type of music, let's say reggaeton, it's really sexual music. It's like, when you go dance reggaeton, you are really like in a sexual beast mode, like you're like the girls and the men. So everything that we can see is sexually like implemented or as a touch of sexual. And I think this is what you said about the triggers. These are the triggers. Because if you hear a sound about a guy saying, "Hey, fuck the bitches," well, even though it's, I don't know how to explain it, let's say it goes into your subconscious, and then you also like get, you also have these desires. Yeah. The same if you see an ad or if you see a movie. Let's say, I just wanted to, last thing to say is like, I was watching a bit the beginning of Sex Education. It's like a TV show on Netflix, and they have made like now a new season. I think it's I forgot the number of the season, but the first image of the new season is people having sex, people naked having sex, and then when you watch it, you really want to keep watching it because it's it's an attention grabber. It's like attract your attention, so then you keep watching. So they are using sex as a marketing tool, as if you were doing like a hook, as in when you do an ad, you always have the hook, the hook to bait, to grab people, and they are using sexual energy to grab people to watch their movie or their show. Of course, this TV series is also, it's called sexual education, so also it's it's called sex education, so also it's logic. But I mean, it's interesting to see it that way.
But Tom, look at like the book club. Look at the book club, for example. So me and Tom, we host the book club Barcelona, and we've been doing this for almost 3 years, where we do in-person events where people bring all types of books. But to be honest, like the topic that always makes the whole group start to giggle and move and shake, and they're like, "Hey, what?" It's when we talk about sex. And it's crazy how any type of book can always lead to a sexual topic or a sexual conversation. And I believe it is the ground framework of us as humans. And it's so important. It's embedded in every single piece of our society. But also, I feel that sex has been perverted and it's been made into this
Yeah.
physical act between a man and a woman like this. But it's so much more. It's so much connection, sexual release. It's a meditation. It's a way to connect with people, to open up new doors, to bridge new countries, bro. It's so much
No, but
more.
also as I
But
think Flo,
we
what Flo
just,
said,
yeah.
it's really deep, bro. It's about the triggers. It's really used, it's manipulation or influencing people through sex energy. Like if you go, especially if you're living in the city, I mean, if you're living in the countryside, well, but now with the phone or anything, you always are exposed to sex anyway. So also it's like you cannot avoid it. But I mean, you have to be careful, not be careful, but I mean, it's difficult to not get triggered in our day now, because from every, as I said, from the music, from every content, there is this sexual energy, and maybe also it's part of life, you know, everything is sexual at the end. But also it gets you triggered, as you say, Flo, and maybe it makes you horny in a moment, and then you just want to let it go because you don't know how to control it, because it's overstimulating you. It's like it's an overstimulation.
But I do want to share with the flow that I didn't go in it at the beginning, but I can agree, Flo, that I also sometimes feel stimulated in a way. Maybe it's from things that I saw online or something, but there is this deep, tense moment that I feel horny. Yeah, maybe it's horny, but it's even augmented from social media, from things in my mind, from my previous experiences with porno and all of this, where I would also feel this sexual tension. So it's very important, I think, as a man. I think a lot of us deal with it, and some people then go out and do some crime and rape somebody. But there's also ways for you to release the sexual tension because it's in your body. You can massage yourself, you can move, you can stretch. A lot of times, in my case as well, it's just I need exercise. My body needs to move. I want to move. It's just I want to go running, but another easy way, instead of go for a run, I can just pop out Pornhub and I get the same release, but it's not the same. It's like a temporary boost, and then you go drop down again. And I'm happy that I can talk about this because I want to just say live here in front of everybody, I'm a very sexual man. I am like, if there's a horniness level, there's 100, and then I am 500. But it's also challenging indeed sometimes to control yourself, to see how you perceive it, how you communicate with people. And it's, being a high performer, being a papi, being a sexy papi also not means being aware of your sexual energy, projecting it correctly, using it for good, letting people to enjoy it, letting it flow and not, but also not going on a jerk off a marathon or, try to only lie to people to get sex. So it's such a topic, man. This thing is such a topic.
Yeah, I wanted to say that whenever you mentioned the triggers and everything, and so let's just put it this way: whenever, let's say, you watch something, you watch Instagram, and something triggers you, you said it with doing sports or something that helps you calm down, and this is what happens, right? Because whenever you get triggered, you are in your head. Like you are thinking, oh my God, this girl, oh my God, she looks like this, and oh my God, I would do this to her, and and then so this is what I used to do when I was doing NoFap, right? Whenever I would get triggered, because I was triggered all the time, right? I would just do 20 push-ups or just go outside and just go for a walk, and this urge would instantly go away. So this is just for those who are struggling with this. Try to get into your body and get out of your mind. Like don't stay with those thoughts. Don't let your mind or your penis control you and tell you, hey, you need to jerk off now or do whatever, right? So this is I think also another really important thing to understand how this works.
And also I want to mention something, so we can transition to a new thing that we were already talking with Nevin last time, is that if you're able as a man to control your energy, or like to, as you said, to use it in your benefit, you're also able to say no to a woman that wants to have sex with you, or, you're able to say no. And the moment you say no, it's where actually you get the woman, when you get a girl. Because all the other guys are so like desperate to have sex, that it's easy for the girl to have sex with a man. Like, honestly, let's be honest, it's very easy for a girl to get sex like every time. They go on Tinder, they get thousands of messages.
How can you say this, Tom?
Yeah, but let's be real, no? Let's be realistic. If you are already objective, it's the truth.
Boo.
But
girls, comment below what you think of Tom's statement. Let's see what they think.
Yeah, if you don't agree, you're not living in real life, it's fine.
I think in general he's right. Like in general, you're right, Tom.
In general.
No, there are always exceptions for sure, like everything, it's the same. But in general, it is like this. But what I mean is that when a man says no to a girl, she's not used to it, because all the men are like, they cannot say no. They always say yes. So you make yourself a special person. And and then the girl wants to have sex with you, because then you're different. No, it's very interesting.
So basically, this is the Papi hack to life, right? Say no to sex, and more of it will come to you.
No, but it's interesting. It's
But this is
because,
how it works.
it's how it works. But it's not only about the
When
sex.
you don't want it, when you don't want it, bro, it comes in overflow.
So yeah, I was saying that that women, for them, it's a bit easier to get sex. But also I wanted to say that this is also an opportunity for men, because why I want to say this? It's because, as I said, most of men don't know how to channel this energy or to control it. So also women has a lot of choices, but at the end, what they are looking is for something deeper than sex. Because if they want to have sex, they can have it easily, as or easily, or more easily than men. So maybe after, some women, not all of them, but some women, they are looking for a deeper connection with a man. That's why, the guys listening, and you guys also will know that a girl wants a man to listen to her problems. She wants a guy to listen to her problems, and most of the guy, we don't listen, and no, I mean, you know what I mean?
Want to solve the problems.
This is a stereotype, but the woman wants to be heard. She wants to talk about her emotions. She wants to do other things that men sometimes we don't like to do, or we don't do, or some men don't do. It's because of this, I think. It's because they want a deeper connection, that they don't want just physical one. And the men, they are looking for physical because for them it's like scarcity. So when they get a girl, for them it's like a way to get laid. But a girl, when she gets a man, it's not to get laid, because it's like abundant for her. So what she's looking for, something deeper. And I think it's interesting to have to think about this, because then that what a girl really wants is not really sex, even though of course girl like sex, of course, and they want it. But I mean that it's something deeper that they are looking for. And it's like, I don't know, it's like you're doing marketing and you position yourself in a different market with a different branding, with different marketing title. Like you're not Volvo, you're not Nissan, but you're BMW or you're Mercedes. I mean, you're changing.
We are not getting paid, I swear.
No, but we know what I mean. It's like,
not yet.
You can be a Volvo, bro, and you can be like a Nissan, and maybe everyone is riding you. But I don't know. I don't know what to make too much. No, this is too much. I cannot say it.
I am safe to say that your happiness in your sexual life has a lot to do with your quality of life and how you perceive yourself. I do, however, know that there are some people that value, or at least have the desire more than other people. I've met people that have guys then that have no sexual interest whatsoever. Like they have no libido for it or anything like that, and other people kind of like me for a big part of my life. I was like almost like a dog, like I would almost howl. But it's just a lot of sexual energy, a lot of masculine energy. But I really believe that being able to master this balance, but also communication, uh, it's key. It's key. So I was sharing this with Tom. Maybe we can give some tips and not just only talk about like high level, but maybe we can do some personal things that you can use, no, that you can also like implement without overly having to be overly sexual. So one thing that I share with Tom is, and this works for all use cases, by the way, even in business, but is to be more a bit more visual when you speak. Um, People have like imagination, So when you're speaking to a girl, for example, guys, be visual with what you say. Give examples. Give sounds. Give smells, colors. Be very visual with what you share. Like I will openly share this, but for example, I was having a coffee date not a long time ago, a few days ago. And during my coffee date, I said, in a way, I made it work, but I told her, imagine me pulling your hair. Only thing I said, I just said it in a way, the context, it worked. And I just said, imagine me pulling your hair. And then I didn't really laugh or anything, I just let this pause. But I could see in the person's, like, they were like, imagine that happened. You don't even have to like say it or brutally, but you can already start to paint this energetic and be romantic. But also there is a way and to use this energy, this powerful energy, this dominant, powerful energy, where you say you know what you want. And I think a big problem of my personal life, my dating, my sexual life is that for a long time, I would say whatever I needed to say to get to sex. I would lie, I would make up shit, I would not be myself, I would uh, please whatever I needed to do in order to get to the sex. And this caused that I broke a lot of hearts, I got into a lot of trouble. People really saw me as something negative in their lives, and it really caused a lot of pain in myself because I wasn't being honest with what I wanted. And I think this is just something that,
Mm.
honestly, like I said, the guys on the earth embracing their sexuality in a more healthy way will automatically give women the experience they desire. So that's why I really, really very
Yeah.
motivated to speak about this topic, and I'm really
But
proud that
also,
you guys are brave enough. Yeah.
also a part of what I wanted to say, also, and it's connected to what you say, is a moment when you stop chasing. It's like the moment you stop chasing, you know, like and also that you know what you want, as you said. Like if you're with a girl for the first time and you know you don't really know, or you know, maybe you know you just want sex, maybe you know it, but you're afraid of saying it because you think that the girl will judge you, or you think that you will be seen as a pervert or whatever. Like, you know, you can, this is like the stereotypes, no? But yeah, as you're saying, Nevin, it's like the power to say it and to say what you want. Because the moment you say it and the moment you communicate, it's clear, concise. It's the person knows what you expect. You also know what you know. You're saying the things, and it's the same in everything, in business, in every communication, things in a relationship with friends, etc. It's always important to communicate your needs and your wants. And then the person maybe wants the same, maybe the person don't want the same, and it's fine, you know. But at least if you don't say it, then you cannot get then you will hurt people, as you said, Nevin. You will hurt, you will lie, you will start lying, and it's not good, because at the end it's not long term. It depends what you want in life also, if you want long-term stuff or if you want short-term pleasure. But then sometimes short-term pleasure is like instant gratification, as we are a bit talking today also about like masturbation, etc. And those like instant gratification, it's not the most healthy way of living, or the more like happiness, because it's like an instant pleasure, but then after it destroys you. And it's the same with lying for sex. It's like maybe you get the sex in the first time, maybe you have sex with a girl, but then after you maybe you get a bad reputation from the girls, or someone you know what I mean. It's like, it's interesting to understand this concept too.
Yeah, because you mentioned communication. Of course, communication is huge, but first you have to know what what is going on inside you and what you want to communicate, right? And because Nevin mentioned lying, I used to do the same, you know, just to get sex, just to get the approval. People pleasing, a lot of people pleasing, lying. And honestly, I wasn't even aware, I wasn't even conscious. So it was something, yeah, like in my subconsciousness, you know, something, a trauma. Now, I mean, now I know, of course, because I did the work, and I started understanding what I was going through. But first you have to understand what you're going through, and again, the triggers, what is triggering you, and why you are looking for whatever you're looking for, right? If it's approval, if it's really just you have a desire and you really want to just go after your desire, because there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you're looking for instant gratification, you know, like chasing the orgasm, which is just a few seconds, right? And it's fleeting. Those seconds don't really matter, but those seconds can actually ruin your life. So yeah, and I want to get into this topic because, you know, if you don't know what you want, or if you are unable to communicate, and this is the thing, because men, and I think this is a statistic of last year or maybe this year, I don't know, but 40% of men are unable to open up about mental health issues, right? So if we are unable to open up about what we are going through, then we become lonely, and we are alone with our issues, right? And if you're unable to open up, then it's, you know, you go down into this rabbit hole, and it's going to get dark, because no one is going to be able to help you, and you will be alone with your mental health issues. And that's also the reason why the suicide rate is so high when it comes to men, or why, you know, the criminal, or why men become criminal more than women.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying, you know, that I'm just saying that these are the statistics, and this is something really serious, right? So yeah.
Also, just like to say something I think I just realized now, is a difference between being poor mentality and a rich mentality, or like being successful. And I think being successful is choosing the long-term benefits or long-term gratification over the short-term. Because it's the same with food, or it's the same with Netflix, or it's the same with everything, that when you're choosing the short-term, you're like you are an animal, or it's like you're not able to control your pulsions. It's like you're a rat in a lab, and the player, the one playing you, is like giving you cheese and give you stuff, and you're like, oh yes, I want cheese. And like, see, like, you're like a little rat. You're like your little rat, like stuck in the cage, And I think if you really want to be successful in life, you have to understand that maybe you might be a rat, or you can be a lion. You can be something much bigger than a rat. You can be a fucking beast, You don't have to be played around by others. And I think this is deep. And I think this is by taking control of these pulsions, or this voice that's telling you, oh, let's have a quickie now. Let's watch porn, about, let's lie to this girl so I can get her in my bed. Or let's watch Netflix stuff and not go to the gym. Or not. I mean, guys, it's not easy. I don't say it's easy, because I've been through this, and we all been through this hole, and it's normal. But I think that now I really realize the last weeks that this is a key to success, is to do this.
So I wanna share that as a man, I think the key to your success is to always be testing. You have to test out things for yourself, because I can give you advice on dating and it will not work for you, or as Tom's advice will, or as Flo's advice will. And I think everybody has their communication style. You have your personality type, you have the amount of energy you have your body. Different aspects come into play, but you have to test. You need to figure out things. You cannot make assumptions when it comes to dating. You cannot just think, maybe girls don't like this. No, you have to do it, and you test. So one thing that I've been testing quite for a while now, maybe for a year now, is when I meet a girl that I see that is not really specifically what I'm looking for in a long-term partner, but I do like them, it's good energy, and I would just like to at least open the door to have this casual sex. It's like almost like a unicorn that we don't want to talk about, but it's very, very real and very possible. And I will test my grounds. I will test the boundaries and say immediately, hey, from the get-go, I am not looking for a relationship. This and this is reason. I'm just fully focused on myself, I'm doing things. But I really like the energy in between me and you. So I'm just curious, like, do you have a boyfriend? Like, oh, later. So I wouldn't go try out a massage. I would try out something like, and you can create boundaries of a relationship. So this is like the thing that I want to share. We talked about the boundary. Go listen to the boundary episode. But every relationship has different sets of boundaries, and with each girl, it's gonna have also a different set of boundaries. So let's say maybe in one relationship you had this thing where you couldn't touch her butt, but the other relationship, she wants you to spank her hard every single day in public. So there will be different levels of boundaries, and the only way to figure out, and you have to do with this in a healthy way, is to test. And I'm not saying to just grab somebody, no, but test. Put your hand a bit on the lower back.
Or you can communicate.
And it's like, it's always like, communicating, but also not everything is communicatable.
No, but read communication, because actually communication is non-verbal. No, the main communication is non-verbal. Exactly. So testing, seeing the signs. No, if the girl is pulling her hair like this, it means she's looking at you like with big eyes. Maybe she's interested in you. Maybe she doesn't have to say it. You can read it. No, it doesn't have to be.
Or maybe not. Or maybe not. Maybe not. But you will never know until you do some type of action. You test, you figure it out. And this is a man as well. A man also goes and takes a bite and see what it is.
Also, last thing I wanted to share, and I think it's valid for everything in life, but if we're talking about relationship now, it's like seeking like pleasure or like sex with a girl, and only having this in mind could, as I said, like be like a short-term gratification. And maybe it can give you happiness for a while, but then it will make you sad. But let's say you're trying to build something very beautiful with a woman, and it doesn't have to be sexual, but it can be also like a beautiful like friendship at the beginning, like communication, and also intimacy, but like maybe just a kiss, you touch her. But then in the long term, you're building a so beautiful connection that even the sexual part will be much better, but also you will have built something, you know, it's not, you will get gratification not only for sex, but you will have built gratification for a friendship, for building like a connection. So it's like, I don't know what to say, but it's like a deeper love or a deeper happiness that you will receive. It's the same when you eat healthy food. Let's say when you eat healthy food, at the beginning, maybe it doesn't taste the same as a McDonald's, but then in years and years, then you'll feel your body much stronger and better. So in the long term, you will be grateful that you've eaten healthy. And I think it is important, and I understand also why we're chasing short term. But yeah, guys, I think the people listening to this podcast, the Papis, the coming Papis, they are people that really wants to be successful. Otherwise, I don't know if they will be staying for 1 hour or listening to us. But I think, like, from my experience, I think this is the key. Because I think it's one of the main key of success is to do this. It's not easy, but to really be disciplined with yourself. Not to be also like a monk, but also to discipline. Like, look, Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo, man, is a fucking master in discipline. He's taking cold showers, cold baths, eating like a crazy guy. Like, he's super disciplined. He's always first at the training, always the last. I mean, this guy is super disciplined and is, I think, the same as us in the same. He started the same as us, but because his energy and his why and his purpose is so strong that he is able to be disciplined. So, yeah.
Guys, I wish I was so disciplined. Yeah, I'm reflecting a bit on what we're talking about, and I want to share that I believe that it also has a lot to do with culture and where you're coming from. Where maybe in France or in Hungary, there are more conservative cultures, but I feel I come from a culture also another dimension. No, you already have like level of energy or personal. I come from an oversexed culture. All the music in Aruba has something to do with sex. All the foods have something to do with extra cheese, sauce, or pleasure or spiciness. And everybody here is also much more driven, or in Latin America in general, much more driven towards having open sexual relationships. A lot more cheating you hear. So it's also a lot to do with the culture. Um, but I'm very aware of this, right? But I will make a statement, and I'm very aware of what statements can do. But I I have, it's safe to say that I have slept with around 75 women in my life, right? 75, siete cinco. And I don't say this to impress, but to impress upon you and what this means for me being in my culture, which a lot of other people in my age would say a body count. Oh my God, this is like a new term. Now we're gonna introduce the body count. It's very interesting where I've met a lot of people of my age as well from Europe, and they were like, "Whoa, dude, I had like sex with 3 or 5 people," and I just want to also share of how much of this is your motivating force. For example, for me as a Caribbean man, I see this somehow as a very important aspect of my life and part of my identity. It doesn't have to be, but it's also important to know who you are, what you want, because a lot of these points or counts came from a weak Nevin that is empty, that didn't know what to do. And a lot of these names were names that I heard, people that don't want to talk to me anymore. And I don't want that. You know what I mean? So it's really about you knowing what you want. And it's not just about getting the sex. It's really about you adding value to the lives of the people around you. Because quite frankly, women also desire to have beautiful experiences with beautiful, strong men that know what they want. This is their biggest desire. Same as you, also, my friend, desire to have some type of beautiful connection with a woman. So the desires are both there, they're matching, but are you opening your mouth and seeing what you want? That's all of it. It's really seeing what you want, but knowing first as well, asking yourself question: do I just want to fuck around? Or do I really want to commit to a beautiful relationship? Good, whatever it is, make sure you set your mind to it and communicate this with the people you meet. This is very important.
Yeah. I don't know if you have something to add, but
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that I think this is what makes all the difference, right? Especially for men, because we are known for, fucking around and chasing women, and that we are controlled by our penises. And
Yeah.
if you're a man, I think that's when it starts. Like, what's a man, right? And for me, what's a man is a man who actually knows who he is and what he wants, and is also aware of his emotions, feelings, triggers, conditioning, beliefs, everything. And this person who's just working on himself and yeah, communicating and showing vulnerability. And I think this is how it starts,
Yeah. So interesting. I just realized some things. You remember, Nevin, something I told you one day, man? That I said something.
me many
I
things,
don't.
Tom.
Can I share it? Is it okay if I
Share
share it?
everything is shareable. Everything.
Okay.
Open
Yeah.
book, guys.
So one day, yeah, with Nevin, we were doing an amazing meditation, I would say. And I said, Nevin, yeah, Nevin, your desire for a woman will keep you poor. I told him this, and because I really realized, and as Nevin said, the culture between Latin America, for example, and Europe or US, and we can say maybe I don't want to make a correlation, or I don't want to make a statement too much, but maybe why these countries are one is poorer and one is more developed. I would say I don't want to judge also, because you can live very happily in Latin America, but maybe it's because of this desire for sex that these countries, the hot countries, the Latin countries, people are, as you said, much more sexual, and they are much more like open to sex, etc. But also that made me why it keeps them poor. In I don't want to say, but also I don't think being rich is also about money. I don't think it's only about money and etc. It's not only about materialistic. So I don't want, maybe I'm using the word poor in a wrong way, but maybe they're a bit less developed because of but I don't want to make a generality, because then I will get cancelled by
Tom,
people. But
Tom, listen.
you know what I mean?
Papi does not justify his
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, but also I don't want
Say
to
what your
discriminate.
opinion
It's
is,
not
and
here. I'm not here to discriminate or to say bad, about Latin America, because actually I love the cultures. But what I mean is, like, as you say, the differences maybe can come from this point. One of the main one can come from this desire that in Europe we are a bit more conservative, as you said, but maybe that's this ability to be more disciplined, even though a lot of people are not, but maybe in general the culture is a bit more disciplined on this topic. Then it's maybe why we are more able to, maybe that's why the countries is a bit more developed than in these other countries. Maybe it's not true, maybe it's not at all, but I'm just saying it because something I just realized. Maybe it is true, maybe it is not, but we can discuss it.
I think in Latin America we value different numbers. We value the body count
Yeah,
more
that's why.
than the bank account.
Yeah.
We value the.
No, that's why I don't
we
say it's
fo-
bad. That's why I didn't want to say like it's bad.
No, it's
But
deep shit, bro. I am seeing this. I'm now in Aruba. I'm seeing this in my society. I'm seeing how people learn more, not only sex, but more towards drinking, partying, relaxing, instead of going to read a book or go to the library. I don't think it's just sex. It's just to enjoy life. There's a cultural index as well. It's like conservative and enjoying life. And literally, like in Latin America,
yeah,
you
you're
can
right.
see, yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
you're right.
But it's also important to mention that I think for men, the most important thing in life is purpose. It's always purpose. So if you are putting your purpose second, third, whatever, and you put your sexual life, desires, your penis first, you will always fail, because we need a purpose, and without a purpose, like you cannot put a person or sex or desire first. You just can't.
Yeah. No, it depends. Some people don't have purpose, but yeah, I mean, if you do have a purpose,
Yeah, but then you don't have a fulfilled life, and then you have
yeah.
no goals,
No,
no
I know.
ambition. If something external is controlling you, or well, in this case, your desire and your penis, but this something that drives you has to come from within, and you have to have like a strong life purpose. Without it, you will never be fulfilled.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I mean, some people don't know what they want to know in life. So that's why also
that's
they
the thing,
they're doing this.
It's for a long time of my life, women was my purpose. This was the purpose of my life, to get lead, to get as much girls. If I was getting the most girls, I was living my purpose. But of course, there's also part that you have to understand deeper and get to know yourself. And I believe a lot of people don't rise above that, thinking that just the purpose is to get a wife, to get a house, and to get a car, and to actually what legacy do you come to leave behind. But you don't even need to have this giant goal either. I have a lot of friends that they're married, they have a nice job, their purpose is just to be happy as well. And that's deep flow. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
very
We
deep.
are a man of big plans, but not everybody is this.
Yeah.
I love what you say, Nevin, about enjoying life and, a bit more conservative, because it's a big dilemma in my life also, or it has always been a big question. And, because some days you want to be disciplined, you want to work, but some days also you want to enjoy life, as you said, like just go out, have a drink, maybe, like as you said, yeah, like go flirt a bit with girls, etc. Enjoying life. But also, if you have, as you said, flow, also a purpose, you need also to be focused, and you cannot enjoy your life too much, or maybe you enjoy your life through your purpose. But that's why
But
I'm
this is
asking the
the
question,
thing.
because it's deep.
Is it
Yeah.
possible to enjoy life too much? And that's the thing, it's like for some people, for them, their goal is to have the god, the Greek god body, to have the perfect business, the perfect wife, the perfect, and maybe some people are just like more to enjoy the smaller things in life. And there's no good and bad. And that's also the concept. Everybody, you need to test what works for you and find your perfect flow. Maybe some people are stoic every
Yeah.
morning, 5 a.m. gym rats. Maybe I just work out whenever I feel like it, and it works for me. It keeps me healthy. So it's also you
No, I know.
finding your
Yeah.
your balance.
There is no right or wrong. What I wanted to say with purpose, purpose can be anything. It can be taking care of your family, or
Yeah,
taking care of your
exactly.
dog, or just, I don't know, living an easy, chill life at the beach,
Yeah,
or just surfing, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to
yeah.
be. It's like you're not sacrificing anything, right? But
Or
there has
doing
to
the
be something
Papi
that comes
podcast.
within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's deep. And maybe because we don't have so much time left, but maybe we can open or end this discussion also with an open question a bit for the people, to make them think about this, about the enjoying life, and also being more like disciplined and more like conservative. Because I think it's a very big philosophical war, or not war, but like conflict in many countries and many cultures. Because yes, it's like a lot of people, they believe that they are here in this life to enjoy life and to be happy, and and to enjoy life. And other people think that, as you said, Flo, you're here for a purpose, you're here to do something, and you have a mission, and you're here for a reason, etc. And maybe you're here not really to be happy, but you're here for your mission, like for your purpose in this life. Or maybe you're here to be present, or what, you're here for other reasons. But I think there is these two, a bit these two clans, or these two ways of thinking, of seeing life, which is also in conflict, or not in conflict, but is also a bit opposite, or maybe can be also together. But yeah, I'm feeling, honestly, this last years, I was feeling, I didn't know not which one to choose, but maybe you don't have to choose one, but I was in between both. But I know I'm here in this earth to make beautiful things. I know I've came here to change lives of many people, but also at the same time, some days I just want to enjoy life, and maybe I wish I didn't know I came here to do something big, because it's maybe weird, but sometimes you just say, okay, I just want to enjoy. I don't want to. Maybe it's okay. I can have a rest. But then after, you have this voice coming back, say, Tom, you're here for a mission. You people need you, and
Yeah,
like
but
it's
I
yeah.
think balance is key, man.
Hmm.
Knowing that you are both beautiful God, full of energy and ideas for the earth, but also understanding that you are human and that you're having a human experience, and that you have to also have beautiful, deep connections and sex. It's all part of it. Like in my case, in my journey, in Nevin's story, I see pleasure as a very important part of my story. It's a big motivator. I feel personally, each time I followed pleasure in my life, it helped me to level up and took me to new places. I'm not saying to not be disciplined, but I'm saying if you feel uncomfortable in something and you move towards less discomfort and more
Yeah.
pleasure,
Okay.
usually it's like the universe guiding you towards what's more meant for you. So I also embrace a pleasure, but do know that there is a balance to this. And for me to run a business, for example, now I'm having the Papi podcast, but as soon as I do, I have to go back to my work, and I cannot just go to the beach, even though there's a beautiful beach outside. There are certain pleasures that I know I can sacrifice, but knowing that pleasure is an important part of my life. It's a motivator. I do all my business knowing that in a few years I'm gonna be able to sleep with whoever I want, drive whatever I want, fly wherever I want. And it's a big motivator, big part of it. Aside from the purpose and pleasure, both of them go for me.
Yeah.
This is my journey. I don't know who for anybody else.
Oh, it's a good point. No, I just also it's a good question for everyone to think about.
Yeah.
Reflect.
I just wanted to say that or end it with this, that there's no right or wrong, and you give meaning to life.
Yeah.
Literally, bro. There's no right or wrong. We all have different opinions, different perspectives. And for my opinion and perspective, it's the more you get to listen to the world, and every tiny person can reflect, mirror back a tiny glimpse of the truth to you. Maybe you find your truth in between me and Tom and Flo's words, or maybe you find completely the opposite. And you said, these guys, you are completely wrong. And I see the totally other way. Believe me, even if you think that, you're also right, because it's your truth. It's like what you want and desire in this life. And I desire to have a life filled with beautiful experiences, beautiful girls, beautiful papis like these guys in front of me, houses, experiences, and it's perfectly fine to desire that. The power of desire. Know what you desire, communicate it to the world, to the universe, and you will receive it in overflow. You will be sprayed upon. It will drip all over you, and you will be blessed by the rains of the heavens.
It's what you add this
promise.
weekend, no? It's what you also
I
add.
promise, yes.
Thank you for sharing, bro. Just one more thing before we end it. Everything we talked about is our experience, okay? So for the listeners out there, this is our experience, and we don't think that everything we say is our truth. I mean, this is our truth, but it's not
and also we are open.
truth. And we are just open and
oh, you're right.
Sharing
because maybe now we think this, but maybe in 1 year we will have a different opinion. No, it's like
exactly.
It's also the purpose of this podcast.
You can add in the podcast episode, you can add some references to the NoFap and the semen retention. I think you had some cool websites just to give more context around this. I think it's very important. I wish I practiced these things more. It sounds like it's very important for my life, but I need to definitely channel that better. Yeah.
Thank you for the listeners and for the viewers. If you actually listen till the end, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support, and feel free to leave your feedback, like, subscribe, and ask questions. Thank you for
feedback.
Everything.
Yeah. Also, we have a new mascot. I can see the new mascot next to Flo.
Oh yeah. It's a new mascot. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Much love.
Take care.